right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Thank you for being here. Hello, Johnny. Thanks for tuning in Thursday nights. Doing some design work tonight. We're going to be working on the Austin FC Q2 Stadium and maybe talk about some other Lego projects, things going on in the world of Lego. So I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. If you're coming in from various social networks or if you've already subscribed or whatever, it's good to have you here and I appreciate you being here. Some interesting thing happened today. So I usually get, and I'll do a design. So we're going to flip over to the Q2 Stadium here in a second. I've got a lovely green for Austin FC going on in the background today. They did play last night. Late, I was in bed with the volume down watching it on my phone, and they were up until about the 60th minute and then ended up losing right after a really smart substitution by the coach, and none of us are very happy about it. So, hello, Missy. How are you? Good seeing you at the meeting. Our huge 50-plus person meeting now this is turning into. So, yeah, it was that we needed 3 points so we could kind of stay in the playoff hunt, even though we're kind of a terrible team at the moment. And yet they couldn't even do that. So we got 1 point and a draw. And I don't think that's going to work out. Anyway, so we got this going tonight, but I wanted to show you all something interesting. So I posted the sub on our Lego on Reddit and, made the front page, made the our all section with almost 7K upvotes and a lot of comments. I'm kind of watching one now. This one was talking about, you're a professional Lego builder? I'm like, no, this is a hobby. I just know to ask for, money for my time spent, right? For commission and stuff. And so then it says, I assume the contact LAN admin at the bottom of the page is you for the Lego Ambassador Network. And I'm like, no, why are you asking? Am I in trouble? There's nothing about this that'll get you in trouble. I don't know what's going on with it. Anyway, so I might bounce back and forth and see if somebody responds to that during the course of the night. I don't think there's anything really going on Lego world-wise. I try to pull up the news as well, just to kind of see, and I usually go to here and check like any posts that come up. The review for the Over the Moon with Pharrell Williams set is up on a couple sites. Oh, I do know something that happened. Excuse me. The sail barge is out. And we can talk about that if you want. Johnny calls it a giant turd. I'm not opposed to that viewpoint. I'm not a fan of... we had a sail barge out. This one's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just... It's overpriced. It's overpriced by about $100, right? At least. I think it's like 3,500 pieces and is like $500 or something. And it's kind of, if it was that price, but also came with like a, oh, it was a joke. No, he's like, you're a network admin. You said, I was waiting for it to be like somebody from the LAN going, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, I'm just building a sandwich. Jake the Ninja, hello, how are you? Yeah, that price came with the figures and the skiff. It had a few more figures, a skiff, maybe the set that had the Sarlacc and the skiff and everything. That's all great, right? Yeah, so this was pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about, and I probably need to mute this because this literally is going to go off all night. I haven't had anything hit this number in a long time, so it's pretty fun. And it was just a stupid little sandwich idea, so that's pretty fun. What's something cool, Jake? So anyway, back to this. Oh yeah, so the Pharrell set, the Jabba sail barge set, I think that's it. Minecraft stuff. Some of this is a little old, this Disney stuff. I don't think there's anything really new. I usually kind of wait for the robots to come in. Somebody rebuild. This is a pretty cool build, mech build from Simba. As I said, the GWP with Jabba's sail barge is a lightsaber. I saw that. A lot of these are just reviews. Pre-order sales for November. Let's see if anything catches our eyes in here. We've got the Wednesday Addams sets. These are built kind of like the figures from Wicked. So that same sort of giant printed face and the small arms and hands. The Bratz style stuff. Here's some more figures from the show. These are cute. With some newish pieces and colors. That's a big print right there. Old school 9. I'm a homeschool 9-year-old, and I got to go to the Q2 stadium today and go inside where they emptied for about 30 seconds. Oh, that's so great. I am jealous. So as far as I have gotten into, and welcome to the stream, by the way. I appreciate you being here, Jake. I hope you are a Q2 fan, apparently, or an Austin fan. Apparently you are. The closest I've ever got to that is we do the TIFO work, so the big banners that go up before the game, and we get to march it back into the tunnel, kind of in the same area, but I didn't get to see any players or anything. We usually do it when there's nobody there, so but that's very cool. Congrats. I hope you were able to maybe get some signatures or something, and I think we saw a plane where the players are... Oh, okay, cool. That's cool. That's very, very cool. Well, welcome to the stream. I hope you have fun. It's also, let's see, you're 9, and it's a school night. So you should be probably doing homework or going to bed soon, right? Yeah? You got about an hour? Trying to think of when my kids were about 9. It was about 9 o'clock bedtime, right? You're welcome to stay and chat and watch me work on some stuff, but make sure you get all your homework done. You were in the stands? Cool. Where in the stands were you? Let's pull up some pictures of Q2. So, do you go to the games a lot? We sit... See if this is a good... So this is a pretty good image. This is where we sit. If you come down this tunnel right here, we sit like right here. So we're in the supporter section, but we're a good bit above where La Murga plays. The band sits right here, and all the capo stands along here, where the smoke comes out of and everything. We're right about here. So we're close enough to the action, but we're not in the craziness, right? We try to get the people behind us involved, and it's got a quick out right here. We can walk across here to get out. So, yep, that's where we'll be Saturday too. So if you wanna come say hi at halftime, we meet over here. And we're all wearing the vests. We all wear our cuts, our punk battle vests with soccer patches, green patches, Austin FC patches, all that stuff. So come by and say hi. We're all and you'll recognize me with the beard. Cool. Well, I hope you get to make it out to more games. If you get out this Saturday, come find me. I'll be with a bunch of other people wearing vests. We're easy to find. So in looking... Oh, nice. That's cool. I did a homeschool thing for Pflugerville Library. They had some homeschooler kids there, and we did a Lego thing where I went in and talked to them about, doing Lego stuff. Is this... That's a seating chart. I need an overhead view. I wonder if I put in overhead if it would give me that. Because I think the next thing that needs to happen is I need to change the field size. I think last time we determined that the field was not the right size. I think it's a little long. This doesn't need to be super... There was a great image that I found last time that was just dead right overhead. That's cool that you get a tour of that. I wanted to get a tour. I talked with some of the front office people. Jake, I'm a grown-up who can have this. This is our beverage for tonight. It's called a punkle. It's a pumpkin pie spiced dunkel. It is an adult beverage. I will try not to flaunt it too much in the camera, but part of what I do on this channel is I try out new beers and things like that. So there you go. Ask your parents. Don't drink until you're 21. Drink responsibly. Maybe it was just a regular view. Oh, that's pretty good. This is my favorite time of year for beers, by the way. Oktoberfest time is my favorite time. I was telling Johnny this on his... He said, you had me at Oktoberfest. He was doing his setup today. At is it EerieCon? Am I going to be able to buy the Lego set when you're done? Like you're going to make only one, or you get okay? So Brick Erie, thank you, Johnny. So here's the thing. I already have, and you can tell your parents this. I already have one. Let's pull it up. Actually, let's go to the site. So if you go to a site called Rebrickable, and I can put the link in the chat. Oh, I got a comment. Nice. Cool. Somebody liked the Fondor. I'm going to reply real quick. So there's a site called Rebrickable, and where people would take a set that you already have and build it into something else and then show it off on this site. It's also turned into, if people just build their own models, they put them on this site, and in most cases they'll have instructions to go with it. So if you go to my section up here, and I'll put this in the link in the chat. Were you at the game against Portland where we lost 2-0? Probably. I haven't missed many games this year. I think I've only missed 1 or 2. And I'm going to miss next week's game because I'm actually going to be doing a Lego thing at Austin Beer Works. So if you go to that site, Rebrickable, and then that's Ben's Brick Designs, I do have for sale the instructions for, now you still have to buy all the pieces, but the instructions for the Q2 Stadium. It's actually, let's see, do I have more photos? I don't. But I actually have it built in real life. Now this one's only about this big, right? It's the size of the Lego sets, like Old Trafford and stuff like that. You can get that on the instructions for it here, and you can get all the pieces. If you get all the pieces yourself, that's how you get it. You can order those from Bricklink. You can order them from Lego if you can find them. It does have a list of parts here as well, so you can get all the parts you need. And that's a way to do it. The one I'm working on now is I'm actually hoping that when it's done, the stadium, the front office of the team will see it and like it, and I'll show it to them and say, hey, I'm done designing it. Do you guys want it? If you'll pay for getting all the bricks together and maybe show it somewhere in the stadium, like kind of a permanent fixture in the stadium somewhere, like in the Lexus Club. I'd prefer it if people like could see it somewhere, like outside, like a case, right? Which would be weird because it's going to have white brick on it, and that white brick is going to yellow really bad, but we'll figure that out later. And let them decide if they want it. This will be massive. This is going to be very, very big. To give you an idea of how big, this is a minifigure sitting over here. So this is a minifigure. This isn't going to be minifig scale, but it's going to be probably half minifig scale. Probably. Like I said, I think the only games I missed this year were... I think there was one that I didn't go to because it was a Wednesday and I had something else going on. And but now I don't remember what games that I didn't go to and I have been to. We have season tickets, so I try to go to. We go to every game that's at home, and I've been to one away game too up in Dallas. So, all right. So back to this. So this is going to be very big. It's not something that I'm making so people can buy it or anything. It's just I'm doing it for fun. And I'm trying to find that image that I had. Did I say large on this one? Yeah. I don't know. You got any smoke bombs on you or shurikens that you can throw at us? So I had a friend put those instructions together from that one site, and he was like, that worked out really good. Oh, that reminds me. I need to fix something about those instructions. Maybe after about 45 minutes of working on this, we will go check that out. I think he sent me a text about what needs to be fixed. There was an overhead shot. Would have been great. Oh, look at that. Showed up in the search. So you're up in Round Rock, huh? Don't tell me where you live. That's not cool. But that's cool that you're pretty close. There's another guy. I don't know if you follow his channel. His name is Josh Builds Stuff. He lives in Round Rock too. He lives very close to me, just kind of on the other side of the tollway. So that's super cool. And then I'm already assuming you know about, uh-oh. Ha ha ha, not yours. Look at that, we found somebody. Yeah, questions, customer help. Let's see, contact. Hey, guess what we get to do right now? We get to report something that's not theirs. This is fun. When will it be done? Years. It's already taken a long time. Hi there. You have a listing for a Lego Q2 Stadium. It's not yours. That's my design. Please remove it from your site. Where did it go? Mold King. I'll Mold King you. Yeah, get it. So there's a couple other people in Austin. I don't know if you know about Emmosaurus and Gene's version and Brady Joyner Bricks as well. But there are some other YouTubers in the Austin area. So if you'd like to follow them. Where am I going? Oh, Rebrickable. Thank you. I'll be checking back soon to make sure it's been taken down. Bum-da-dum-da-dum. Do I always take the train or do you drive? I never take the train. I don't know what you're talking about. I never take the train. I took the train. Are you talking about going to the games or just in general, the light rail? Close that. Close that, even though I'm very disappointed that that's on there. I've taken the train a couple times when I was trying to figure out, because I work downtown in Austin, and there was a short period of time that I didn't have a car and I was driving around on a scooter. So I could take a scooter, which it was a 150cc scooter, which was almost a motorcycle at that point. And they said it was highway legal, but I'm not, that scooter got up to about 50 before it started getting really shaky. And I was like, I'm not taking this on the highway. So I would take it to the bus station. And sometimes I would go as far as the train station on the other side of the highway and take the train. But the train didn't take me really close to my work. I'd have to take the train downtown or take it to a different station, get another bus, goes across town, drops me off near campus, then get another bus that takes me from campus down to my office. So I was like, might as well just ride my bike to the express bus stop and just take that. It drops me a block from my office. I have yet to go to the games on the train. We usually drive, but we get there early and go to Hop Squad, which is a brewery nearby. I'm not finding this image. I'm bent out of shape. Maybe it's just an any size. They do a thing called chew and brew, where they leave early and they take the train, and at every stop they go to a brewery that's near that stop and have a beverage, and then they get ahead of the game. So then they get down to the game and they're plenty toasty, or drops them off at near Hop Squad, and then they will walk over from there. So what we usually do is we just go early, walk over to Hop Squad, and we're close. We park close enough so after the stadium we just walk to the car and go. That's been our habit. No reason, and I don't drive to the games. I have friends that I ride with, so whatever they want to do, I go with them. Hey Chris, how you doing? Everybody, this is Chris. This is my buddy Chris from long time ago. Please check out his comic tropes. Yeah, so let me throw up comic tropes here. Chris is a very, very smart, knowledgeable, talented comic book individual, and we I won't say grew up together, but we spent a lot of time together back in the early aughts, late 90s, mostly early aughts. I like sharing the love, don't worry about it. Doing comic book stuff together on message boards mostly, but a couple times I flew out to when he was living in Boston, and flew out there and we hung out for a little bit. Hung out with him at a couple times in Wizard World in Chicago. Good dude, really good with comic book stuff, so check out his channel. But yeah, no, this isn't one that I'm doing for my I'm not being paid to do this. What I want to happen is I get it done, show the front office, and they say, that's great, we'll pay for all the bricks to get it done. And then they house it. The ideal dream is to house it somewhere at the stadium where people can look at it. That overhead shot is gone. I'm so bummed. There was a great shot from a drone or something that was straight overhead, and I could get it was like a perfect way to gauge the dimensions of the field and everything. The smaller version of the set, Chris, is one that I did just for fun, and I put the instructions up for sale on Rebrickable. So if you wanted to go get the instructions for that. Well, if anybody can find it, let me know. I don't know why I can't find it. So we'll just have to, I think, let me take a stab at it. So I think what it was is it's either too, I don't think it's too, I think the width is fine right this way. I think the length is too long. So I'm going to try to take out, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I might try to take out one row of plates and then move everything in one. So let's try that. Let's just try that for now. No, so this is, do you know the picture of the Capitol building that I did, Chris? This is going to be about that size. Probably bigger. The one that I made, that is Lego size, the Lego size ones are only this big. They're only like maybe 1.5 feet across, 2 feet across. Yeah, it's still on display. My mom's coming into town in about a month. I got to take her to see it. I'm super excited about that. They keep asking me if they want, like, if I want it back, or if, you know, if they can still have it for display. I'm like, you guys can have it for the rest of time. I don't care. So what I'm gonna do, I'm trying to figure out if this would be easier just to put 16 plates in here. Or just move this all over here. So that's good. Huh. Hey everybody, hit that like button. All two of you. Thanks for helping me find new viewers, as Chris says. I trust Chris because he's got one of them silver buttons and everything. Okay, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna hide that. We're gonna select all this. And we're gonna move all that. So let's see. And now I'm gonna have to do math on this, or make sure it lines up okay. Because this is now, I'm gonna group that so I don't lose it, but I'll ungroup it here in a second. So this is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this needs to be right smack dab in the middle of 7. And right now it is not. It is 1. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The problem is it's going to have to be on one side of 16 or another. But at this scale, I don't think anybody will notice. I don't think anybody will notice that. Do you all, oh, Jake asked a question. Sorry, I just missed that, Jake. Do you all practice in the stadium when you're in the supporter section? Do we all practice what in the stadium when we're in the supporter section? The only time I go to the games is, or the only time I'm at the stadium is, well, when we're doing, sometimes we can go under, so under the south stands over here. If you go a little farther, like the back side of this kind of drops off into like a loading dock area. So it kind of comes into the stadium from underneath. It's at this level, not this level. But back here, there's a big parking lot. And under the stands here, there's a big open loading dock area. And sometimes we'll go back in there if we're working on the TIFO, those big banners that go up. Sometimes the front office has openings in their schedule to let us in the loading dock area, and we can work on TIFOs there. Other times we got to find someplace else in Austin that lets us spread out and paint. And that, I mean, that's like art collectives, sometimes breweries, sometimes small theaters will let us use their stage space or their backstage areas to do that. But we're able to go in there sometimes. Then when we do practice rigging for the TIFO, which involves coming out to this parking lot, and we have to put up a net, and then we have to take the TIFO, which is basically a tarp with paint on it. It's dried, right? We paint on it, whatever. We take the net out, we stretch it out, making sure there's no kinks, and we roll it up, bring it into the stadium, hook it up on the ropes, pull the ropes up to stretch out the net, let the net hang there for a second, lower it again, bring it back out to the parking lot, attach the TIFO, bring it back in, raise it up again, make sure it looks good, sit there, let it hang for a bit, lower it, raise it a couple times, get used to it. Then we lower it and then bundle it off into, there's another tunnel over here that goes back into like the locker room area, and some AV stuff is back there, and then it'll just live there until game day. But that, and then game day, that's it. That's the only time I'm ever at the stadium, really. I've gone there a couple times hoping that I could get kind of just look around the place and get some ideas about how big everything is, but I wasn't able to get in. So anyway, I think this is a better dimension of the field. I can't really tell. Soccer fields tend to be a little wider than football fields. Man, I wish I could find that one. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Are you still looking for your package?
Yeah.
Is it here? All right, so the other thing I was doing... Oh, wait, let's go break this up.
Oh my god.
Oh, you big dorks.
It's just me.
Release that submodel. All right, so it's all on there good. I'll come back and fix that if I need to. So the other thing I was working on is trying to, and this is really boring, crunchy stuff, but there's no other time to do it. Trying to extend this whole section to make it a little taller. Dance break. Dance off, yo. Dance off. Try to make this a little taller. Putting like some walkways in there. So for Christmas, if I'm a good boy, I'm going to treat myself to maybe a new graphics card, a new GPU, because I think it'll help. I haven't really noticed any performance problems with running Studio on my machine. It does pretty well, but I think it could probably do better. And the bigger this thing gets, the more it's going to start chewing on resources. So I'm going to try to get that fixed. So let's look at this from, there we go. I want this all to come off. Make sure that's all that I've got there. I haven't switched to Prism yet. I was looking at it. Do you have to pay for Prism? I was looking at the a couple sites about it, and it was like $5 a month, and I'm like, what? So I didn't know if that was something that if you paid for service for yours. I thought it was free, and it looks like there were free things, but I think the free things weren't as good as whatever OBS's were, but I don't know. I did look at it though, like I was watching your stream today, and I saw the little thing in the corner. I was like, oh, that's right, I gotta go check that out. So I did my search term of OBS versus Prism. So it's basically like running StreamYard, or is it a download app, or are you running it off a browser? Because if it's running off a browser, I just assume use Restream at that point. Get an additional thing here, and one of these needs to go away because it's not that long. So this will be what? Hey, look at that. We've got 5s now. 1x5 plates that we can put in here. See? This 1x5s. This is how long I've been working on this. 1x5s didn't exist when I started this project. Ah, crap. And disappeared. Which I think would help tremendously in this case. And that's going to be a 1x6. Okay, cool. I'll download it and play with it. I also figured out that I don't think it's necessarily OBS. It's that since I have a microphone and I have 2 cameras and I have speakers and I have 2 lights down here plugged in. They're all plugged into different USBs. I'm going to go in and juggle and make sure that I'm using a different bus for each USB. If I only have one bus, I don't know what my chipset's like, where I may be able to split them. I may just have to plug it into a different USB and it'll be fine. But that's been a complaint, and it's not necessarily OBS's fault. It's basically just like that bus can't handle that much input. Playing music doesn't help. Having these extra things plugged into it, even though they're not drawing power, but they're drawing enough power to have a little light on. So I feel like I'm Gary Sinise in Apollo 13, where I'm just like, nope, we got to get our amperage down or something. So, but like now it's fine. And if I fired up another camera, it'd be fine. It just occasionally is like, can't handle it for some reason. So, but I'll give it a shot. All right, so that's good. That doesn't need to go down anymore. We just need to do this 20 more times. Also, my problem during design streams like this isn't necessarily OBS, it's Studio. Because Studio acts really goofy when it gets this many pieces. This goes weird. I know you're good at computers, but you know this? Bloop. Actually, no, I can't. This is the one glaring black hole I have in my computer knowledge is printing. Mostly because printing is just one of these weird things where it seems like it should be easy, right? You have a printer driver in your computer that says, I want to print, and your operating system goes and looks and says, okay, they've got a thing that communicates with a printer, right? And you say, okay, is it wireless or is it wired? Well, it's wired. It travels down this cable. Is it hooked up? You betcha, right? Even then, even wireless or wired, the printer is a black box. The printer itself is a black box that just sits there and goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. It's like every printer is like a sullen teenager. And you're just left going, what do you mean? It's right there. Okay, let's see if I can just go brr, brr, get it out of the way, make sure all those pieces are gone. Yes, yes. I thought I did. Oh, it's right there. Okay. You do find Prism to be quicker in response? Cool. All right. I don't necessarily have, and this is just my thing, I don't necessarily have a problem with OBS's response time. Like it functions quick enough when, I mean, it's quick and stable enough for the most part, 95% of the time. The only problem I've ever really had with it is that one camera conflicting thing. It's just weird. And also, if I get a better GPU, that might help. It might take some of the onus off the CPU a little bit, because right now I'm running the bare minimalist of GPUs. It's like, what comes with... I built the computer. It's on... Oh, man. It's spec, right? It's just... I have... all these things that I wanted to do, and so I found this website that was like, what do you need to do with your computer? Well, I needed to do these things. All right, do you need this, or this? I'm like, no, I don't need any of that. Don't need this, I don't need that. Oh man, come on. See, this kind of stuff where I'm like, okay, select and move. So at the time, streaming, I wasn't really doing streaming in terms of, yeah, that's going to be different, but that's okay. In terms of this stuff just yet, but they're like, if you're not gaming but you're streaming something else, you don't need a really solid GPU. You just need a lot of memory. All right, cool. So I got that, and at the time, you couldn't get a solid GPU for less than like $2,000. This was back in like early. So I've been doing this for over 5 years. So this was like, I was at the time I was streaming off, like, I was borrowing Beth's laptop and using my work laptop, and that wasn't really great. So I got my own laptop or my own computer when I moved here, We moved here during the pandemic. Everybody was staying home during the pandemic, so suddenly they wanted to do streaming. Suddenly they wanted to do all kinds of hobbies. Suddenly they wanted to play games. So GPU prices went through the roof, and you couldn't find them anywhere. On top of the fact, this boat crashed itself into a canal somewhere, and everybody's stuff was delayed by like months, right? So shipping for basically just the card got pushed back. Shipping for supplies got pushed back. Contracts got pushed back. Subcontractors got pushed back. So you couldn't get a GPU for a long time. And by the time I needed one, I'm like, I can live without. So now I'm at the point where I'm like, I probably don't need it. But it will definitely help. My concern is that if I ever were to get a new GPU, the first thing I'm going to want to do is play games with it. And I don't need to be doing that. I just need to be doing this, and that's it. So oh, so there's another guy who does, I'm trying to remember his name. Lego Stadium. His name's, it's like something Schlami. Schlego. That's it. Go to this guy's channel. He's also doing he's doing a football stadium, like a college American football stadium. And he's doing some really cool stuff. And it's minifig scale, but it's minifig if it seats like 300 or something like that, right? So it's really cool. I would highly recommend checking it out. YouTube suggested it to me, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go check it out. All right, so this is basically what I'm going to be doing to make this whole section work a little better. Did I get this all working? Yeah, so I'm going to put this all back down on that now. And then we're going to go look at a couple other things. So the next thing that needs to happen is this whole section needs to change. So if you're looking at the stadium from here, let's do, since we didn't find what we wanted to, that's a render. That's not really what it looks like. This is kind of, oh no, this is exactly what it looks like. Okay. Some of these are renders and some of these are image, open image in new tab. Yeah, so we park, I don't know if you can see where we park. I think it's over here. See if there's a better view. Anyway, that's not a great view. That's the side. Trying to get a good view of this one side over here. This may be it. Although not really. I'm also relying a little bit on the model that I built to give me kind of a... That's pretty good. Seems a little fuzzy. That's not a good image at all. So there's a way... I do. Like, I know all the songs, and occasionally they introduce a new song and you have to go to their YouTube channel or their Spotify list and kind of listen to it for a little bit to figure it out. I would say more than half of them are in Spanish, and I don't know the Spanish, so I phonetically just kind of sing along with it, and I'm picking up the Spanish. It also has like some call and response things, so like the official song will say one thing and then you shout something else, and that's not in there. You just kind of have to learn it. And then there's movements to go with it. Like there's one where we've got our arms around each other and we're rocking back and forth. And and then we jump up and down, and everybody gets down, and the drums start up. We throw water on each other, right? And then there's one where everybody just kind of does this back and forth, and your calves wear out. But yeah, there's and they're all like, if you listen to most football or soccer games, they're going to be similar. Like you can hear them in other places. They've got kind of the same melodies. But there are a couple unique ones that we've got. This isn't really showing. All right, here's a good shot of, so here's the parking lot. And it's fun. You do that, and you do that for 90 minutes. You know, you go out there and you cheer, and then at halftime we go over to one side of the stands, and everybody with their punk vests on, we all get together and we all take a picture, and we turn around and get the backs of the vests, and then we all go back to our seats and cheer for 45 more minutes. It's exhausting, and then you go walking all the way back to your car. So we park right along this road right here. This was our spot for a long time. But then they built this new train station right along here, which is great if you want to take the train and get dropped off right here and go to the game. Problem is, at the end of the night, it's you and 5,000 of your closest friends trying to pile onto a train that runs every 20 minutes. It's not the Austin's not known for its mass transit, so we just assume drive. And then right over here, this little light blue building right here is Hop Squad. It's right under where my face is. So what we'll do is we'll park up here along this road, walk across the field, go get a couple beers here, and then they close down this road sometimes, and we have a march that goes down the road and down this road into the stadium. We don't always get a march. We get 2 or 3 a year maybe. But for the most part, we still are allowed to take a plastic cup of beer and walk down till we get here. Then we get here early enough to get seats. But then this is the parking lot where we do all the TIFO stuff, and if we go under here, that's where the loading dock is, and we work under there. My problem with this stadium is that it feels like it's kind of an angular stadium, but it's not. So like this is all going to be, we'll do one gap here like we did over here. So this will be a gap. I don't know how big this gap was. I think just one plate. So let's do one plate gap here. So we'll bring this was a whole thing. We'll go above. Where's an above? There we go. Hey Chris, have you played Star Wars Outlaws yet? Are you going to play Star Wars Outlaws? I don't remember you being a huge gamer, but I didn't know if that was on your radar or not. And of course I lost it. There we go. So I'm going to leave about a plate's width because and that should be here. Because I don't really know how big the stands are going to be over here. I may have to move them a little bit, but I just need to get an idea of how big this is all going to be. It's too chunky. Just been working a lot. Yeah, that's fair. Like, I'm editing my show while you're on. Well, at least I'm in there somewhere. I'm just kidding. That's one of the reasons I do nothing but live streams, man. I could not take all the editing and planning and all the stuff that goes along with making an actual video of something. No, thank you. This is cool because I can just sit down and do it, and then when I'm done, I walk away. How high is that? Is it 2? There we go. Okay. So now I do this a couple more times. this is so offset. It's so bloody offset. See, this is all offset too. I want to take the whole thing. This thing is so big that if I go far enough away from it, it just disappears. I just want to take this whole thing and move it like so it sits on a stud. Did that work? Is it all just sitting on a stud now? No, it's not. It's so bleeding. These base plates are the worst. Okay, maybe that'll help. It's so hard to tell when these are all lined up. If base plates are just the enemy of like building well in this software, because they don't want to snap to anything. They don't want to line up with anything. They're half a plate thick. So you're left with like these weird sort of, yeah, and see this just, meh. And now that's too big. See, I have to be very careful. This is something I ran into a lot with the Capitol, was that even the slightest little, see, and this isn't perfectly lined up either. Even the slightest little bit off will cause, if you've got stuff on your foundation that's off because you're doing this kind of stuff, like just kind of lining it up you think is okay, and then you build on top of that, stuff at the top, it's just going to develop these weird cracks and nothing lines up, right? It's just bad foundation, everything else is bad, literally. You know, in digital form, that whole trope of bad foundation makes bad whatevers, right? No, that would be fun, playing a video game. Don't play Outlaws. Have you watched Agatha? Have you watched Agatha Harkness? We watch. So our little one, she's not here. Our little dog is named Agatha Barkness. So I wanted to get a picture of her watching Agatha with us. Do this every time. I won't just line up by itself. We watched the first episode last night. Haven't watched the second episode. She's very tired and she has some training to work on and got some medical things that are kind of wiping her out. So I haven't watched the second. I told her I think I'm going to watch the second episode by myself. And she's like, that's fine. You do whatever you need to do. Okay, good. Yeah, the first episode was a lot of fun. I liked all the sort of member berries of the first episode where it's like, oh, that guy. Oh, it's that guy. Oh, hey. You know, they brought all the WandaVision people back. You're like, oh, I remember that. That was that guy. And it's all like tongue-in-cheek, cop drama kind of thing. It reminded me of the way she acted. Reminded me of, sort of in a weird way, the way the cop on So I Married an Axe Murderer, the way Mike Myers' friend, the cop, the way he wanted to be as a cop. That's what Agatha was like, or Agnes. I was like, hey, that's just, you know, that's what it reminded me of. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I don't like most of the MCU that's happening right now, and oh, of course that doesn't line up at all. That's sweet. I knew, like, I didn't read Iron Man, I didn't read Captain America, I read 90s X-Men and various X titles. That's what I read. Ooh, that looks like eesh. So one of these is off. You want to bet it's this one? I know nothing about Agatha Harkness. I know she's kind of... I thought she was part of like... Oh no, it's this one. You can tell. Right in there. She's part... I mean, I knew she was part of like House of M, and she's got kind of that... Like, they took a lot of stuff from WandaVision, from House of M kind of thing, but like another story. So I know very little about it, other than what I see on like YouTube recap channels and things. So not a ton. So this can all go away, because I don't think I'm going to need this. Mayor of Easttown, like the horse mayor of Easttown, or the mayor of Easttown. Oh yeah, there's like, I remember, she's, the brooch was a big deal, because I remember her in the comic. Something important was that brooch, because it had the mother, the crone, and the whatever it is on it. Yeah. Yeah, I figured a lot of this was probably, and this is like most things, like I said, MCU-wise now for me, is just like, you guys are pulling from, and you guys are pulling stuff I don't know at all. And the funny part is, every time we go to see a movie, Beth is like, so is that really what happened in the comics? I'm like, I haven't the slightest idea. Like, this is not my AOE at all. Like, if they were to do, oh man, if they were to do like Claremont's run of X-Men or something like that, it'd be, now I got it. Now I'm with you. Now I know what's going to happen. Which the whole thing with is going to work. What were they doing? It wasn't Extinction. Oh, the X-Men 97 felt very Extinction Agenda, right? I know it wasn't, but I mean, it felt like they had Genosha, they had all this kind of stuff. I'm like, this is the stuff I can get into, right? That's really all I knew. What is the last MCU thing you really enjoyed? X-Men 97. I don't consider that really MCU, because it's kind of not. But, let's see. Loki Season 2 was pretty good. I liked Season 1 a lot better. I really liked Miss Marvel. And again, I don't know anything about her from the comic. But, I wish there was a way I could grab all of this. And know that I grabbed all of it. I really enjoyed Miss Marvel. That was just, she's Iman, whatever her name is just a treat. She is so, no, this is great, man. It keeps me like mentally in it. So I appreciate it. There's been streams where I have like nobody's talking. Johnny's usually in here. Missy's usually in here. That's kind of about it. We'll get a rando every once in a while coming in. But yeah, so I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I really like Miss Marvel. That was good. Secret Invasion, whatever that was so boring. It was just boring. Like there was nothing to it. And I didn't know anything about Secret Invasion or anything like that. I just know that was not. It wasn't good. I was bored. What else? Like there was, I actually liked, the sequel to Captain Marvel, whatever it was called, The Marvels. I liked that. That was fine. Nothing wrong with it. It was a short movie. It was fun. It was entertaining. I felt like it was pretty well written. I feel like it got a little bit too much flack, but I had a good time watching it. Of course, we all died with Wolvie and Deadpool. Beth loved that. That was her thing. That's been her thing for a while. Yeah, we saw the third. We saw Deadpool 3 or Deadpool Wolverine. Trying to think stuff more recent. I guess that's it. Yeah, I wasn't real keen on it being Charles's sister. That, I mean, yes, if you like, that's such an obscure poll that I was like, I didn't even know about it. Like, I was like, I went back and had to research it. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Let's see. I'm excited for the new Captain America. I think that'll be pretty cool. Thunderbolts should be fine. I'm sure it'll be, you know, something with a giant death beam in the third act or something like that, up into the sky. Or some smudgy, grayed out CGI that nobody likes. Oh, the villain in the Marvels. Yeah, that lady, the yellow-eyed lady. Don't even remember her name now. So, let's see. Uh-oh, we've got a bound box that's not going anywhere. Sweet. Nope. Redo that. Okay. Can I move that? Nope, that bound box is stuck. All right, I'm going to close the software for a second so I can get rid of that bounding box. Let's see. I know they've canceled a couple things recently, or they decided not to go forward with them. I didn't like Quantumania all that much. The third Ant-Man, it was fine. I got really tired of their helmets coming on and off. Like, why even have it? If you're just gonna constantly, like, I know they have to be paid by how much their face is there, but wow, was that distracting. We just saw a movie that was kind of fun. It had his kid in it. In Ant-Man's daughter, in the movie Cassie, she was, or in the third one, she was in, hey, Beth, what was that horror movie we just watched? It wasn't Annabelle. Abigail? So we just watched Abigail, which was a lot of fun. It was about a vampire ballerina. A lot of fun. Anyway, she was in it. I was like, I was looking at her going, who is that? I was like, oh, that's Cassie Lang from Ant-Man. Yeah, it was super fun. Super fun. Had a very, like, the hide and seek movie, hide and seek, or Ready or Not, or something like that. Or Megan, the crazy robot girl. It had that kind of feel to it, or it was funny. It was very well done. It had the dude from, that British dude from Legion in it. Yeah, it was good. And then we watched another horror movie. What was the other horror movie that we watched? And then we watched Long Legs, which was a different vibe altogether. That was like Wes Anderson makes a horror movie. It was very slow and methodical and a little creepy. But it also good. Like, I don't know that I would super recommend it to anybody, but it was fun, you know. Yeah, and I was actually rooting for some of the bad guys to get picked off, and some of them like, no, the dude I wanted to live, like, gone right away. I'm like, he was like, hey, we gotta, the military guy, he was like, hey, we gotta get out of here, blah blah blah, and then he just walks away, and you look over, and he's just standing still. We're like, oh, he's dead. It was a lot of fun. So let's see, what's everybody's next Lego purchase is going to be? If money tweren't an object, tweren't, that's a word, right? I think all this needs to go one closer. Nope. There we go. It needs to go a skosh closer because I can see it from orbit that it's not close enough. There we go. It needs to be flesh. Flesh, flesh, flesh. I'm also not 100%. So the reason I'm building it like this is because I want it to be, oh, that's good. I want it to be modular enough that I can build it in these chunks and carry it to a place or transport it. So 10 by 10 plates. Generally, there's a box store here in Austin that sells great shipping boxes that are 10 by 10 or 11 by 11, or you just tell them what size you need and they will get that size for you. So ideally, if these can all fit, if they're just chunks of 10 by 10, they can go a couple in a box, or if they're, more transportable than anything. So none of this stuff is going to be really linked together as much as possible. It's going to be built in sections that I can easily take apart and move. Learn my lesson from the Capitol. Make it smaller and easily put together. Johnny knows what I'm talking about. Your whole Hoth is like that, where it's in manageable chunks, and you have to assemble it on site. You just have to. So as long as I can keep them, this kind of manageable, this like 4x4 square of stuff, and then I can put stuff on top of this. So every one of these will just be its own chunk that goes by itself. And then on top of this, there will be, a big building, and even that building will be chunks of building that will go by itself. And everything will be numbered, and everything you'll have it, you'll know where to put it by this, this, and this. So, Strange Darling. What's the genre? See if I can get Beth to watch it. Is it horror? Is it black comedy? Is it... Oh, man. I saw a trailer for Brothers with Brolin and Dinklage and Brendan Fraser. Oh, that looks super great. Mickey 17 looked really good, too. Some cool movies coming out. I'm excited. There's a new space movie with Casey Affleck coming out too, and I want to see that. Or maybe it's like a Apple TV Plus movie or something. I forget. Anyway. All right. Hey Beth, we need to watch Strange Darling. It's a mostly thriller, somewhat horror movie. Don't look up any previews. We're supposed to watch it as is. What was I saying? So Lego purchases, I'd still like to get, I'd like to get C-3PO because I think, looking at it, I think it would work well with the R2 that I've got. I still need to get roses. I'm waiting for, I think the poinsettias are official, so I might get that. Don't know about the wreath. I'm not sold on the wreath yet, but holidays are coming up. Maybe I'll get that. And I think that's it. And then, good news, I get a bonus at the end of the year, and I'll be getting the Venator. So I'll be treating myself. Yay. Yeah, that one was quick. That one was a bit. So you can see in here, so we can find a good... No, that's not a good look of it. I'm trying to... It's hard to see under the roof. So here's a pretty good shot of what I'm talking about with... This is also built up. So it's slightly raised from this side. And this is a relatively new shot because the construction for the trains is almost done. These have been finished already, these apartments. So this is a nightmare kind of walking past. It's really crowded. So this will need to be like at an angle. These will all need to be kind of angled. But you can see that it goes down into the field. This may need to be also half this. So it's got I don't know yet. I haven't got that far yet. But you can see kind of how big the seats are right here. And you basically walk up from the parking lot into the gates, and then you go down your seats. So the stadium is a bit of a crater, but it's subtle because it builds up over the sides up to the top, and then it goes back down. So I think they did dig out some, but I think they also raised around it a lot. So it's going to be hard to figure out what to do with the edge of this. Like if I don't want to build, there's a whole amphitheater over here. There's the loading dock over here. Do I build all that? I think I'm just going to end up doing it just like the smaller version where, see, and this didn't work too well because the field's right here. Oh no, that's where the seating goes. Okay, never mind. Go ahead and save that. Wow, it's up to 8,000. 8,000 upvotes. That's crazy. Somebody linked to our sandwiches. That's pretty cool. Having fun. I want them to email me back and be like, yeah, that's great. We'll take it. Bring it over tomorrow. But they haven't emailed me back yet. I'm a little scared. Maybe the dude's out of office. Anyway. I'm just excited to start working on the crunchy little bits of the stadium, like these little gates, the zebra gate over here, or this lenticular. I can't wait to do the lenticular part of the logo here and do all the glass work and the greebling of the air conditioners up top. But I got to figure out the dumb structural stuff, like how to. There's basically 4 big posts for the roof. But then the roof sits on like that part of the building that's got these smaller parts of the roof all around it. I don't know how that's going to be held up. What's up, Cliff? Greebling. Greebling is a term that means visual interest. Kit bashing isn't the same thing. Whatever this term is wrong. Greebling is just a way of making things more interesting by adding lots of detail. This is greebling. None of this may be actually physically needed. Doesn't have any purpose. You're just throwing stuff at it. It's called greebling. This is and I think it's basically a term that was, and I don't know who made up the term or when. You can look that up on your own probably. But I feel like it was invented with the I think it showed up with the advent of model making for photography. So maybe science fiction movies did greebling. The later it got into science fiction movies like Star Wars, maybe that's what it was. Because they would just get these parts. They would kit bash models. And then they would greeble them to make them more visually interesting, right? There's actually a character, if you're watching the new Rebuild the Galaxy, which I watched. It's cute. It's fine. It's 4 episodes. It's 20 minutes each. It's great. It's where all the new sets have come from. And it's a story about, like, there's a kid who lives on a backwater planet who knows all the stories of Star Wars, and he finds this special brick. And he has a little bit of the Force, and he steals this brick, and the entire universe or the entire galaxy rewrites itself. And so you get Darth Jar Jar and the Dark Falcon and TIE X-Wings and all this other stuff, right? It just mixes everything up. His name is Sig Greebling. Like Sig Fig and Greebling. The girl he likes is named Aussie or Lessie something Scalia or Scala, which is a Lego term. And then his brother is named Dev something, and there was another term for it. But yeah, all the little characters in there are nods to like AFOL people. And then the rest are like fan things, like everybody wanted a Darth Jar Jar, and there was a Jedi Bob, and there's all this stuff, so it's fun. Lego architecture really... Oh, I posted it on our Lego, Johnny. And it made it to R all. I made it to the front page. Woo! How long do you estimate it'll take you to... So when I was working on the Capitol, it took about 18 months to design it. And I was really only working on it like every once in a while. And then the later it got and the closer it got to like being able to be finished. The good thing about the Capitol is I was able to mirror a lot of it. So like I started on one corner where I could kind of, you know, I was playing with what bricks would be a good size and like what things could I make and what colors would work. Because it's a weird colored granite. So when I finally got the scale that I wanted to do and how big and what pieces would kind of work, after that, it's just repetition, repetition, repetition. You can copy and paste. You had to make sure everything lined up, but it went faster toward the end, right? This, I don't know. Like, I have no idea. I think what's going to be a stumbling point is I'm going to get really excited about things like... I'm going to get excited about, like, things like this where there's little... kiosks and shops and the gates and the air conditioners. I'm going to want to do that. That's fun. Figuring out the little bits and bobs near all the stands and things. That's what's going to be exciting. What's going to be terrifying is figuring out, and because I can't do it in real life until I actually do it, how to hold this roof up. What's the roof going to be made of? I have kind of an idea of how it's going to go, but it's going to be super heavy. So... If I did nothing but this for the next, like if I worked on this an hour a day or an hour or two a day, it's probably going to be another couple, like maybe a year before the design's even done. As you can see, most of the time I spent like chatting. Well, there's also Scala. What was she? Scala? Yesy Scala. Yeah, that's the new one. But Lego Scala was a theme for Lego. It was these dolls. This was Scala. So I think that's where they got her name, Yesy Scala. There's that word again, heavy. Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull? I love that. Yeah, I don't know a Scala in Star Wars. I would have thought it would come up. Maybe it's behind the scenes. Scala's surname is a reference to Scala, defunct vintage Lego line. Yeah, that's it. I mean, if there's another Scala in Star Wars, it would have come up in here. There's a Shala. Or, oh, you think it's Sala Zen? This was Han Solo's girlfriend? You thinking of her? She's got a pretty big story. She showed up in a couple of the Tom Veitch books. With the awesome Cam Kennedy watercolor stuff, I think. So anyway, my thing is like probably going to... You can kind of see this is going to be angled. There'll be like... let's see if we can kind of make an angled one here. So, you know, like this will be the seating area. This will be kind of... do this over here too. This will be the gates. Oh man. And I can already tell this is off. Why is that off so much? Did I do that? Did I do that? I think this is just off because it's off over here. That's what the problem is. There's your problem. Oh, who saw Beetlejuice? Did you all see Beetlejuice yet? And if so, your thoughts? Nudge, nudge. Nudge, 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 nudge. Too far. Oh, oh, oh. and then I lost it. False. False. Balzac. Rebels. Balzac. Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, cheap, cheap, cheap. Talk a lot, pick a little more. Down. No. Down. Okay, up. Oh, this is infuriating. This is off by half of a half of a half of a plate. Yeah, it's gonna have to be. Speaking of heavy, there is a DeLorean and a mystery machine in our area, life size. Fascinating. I like the joke that somebody said the other day that if Back to the Future were made today, the line would be, "You made a time machine out of a Cybertruck?" That's kind of how the DeLorean was viewed in the day. It was kind of like, what? I don't know if it was as universally derided as the Cybertruck is, but it was definitely kind of like, all right. Oh, man. A kingdom for a thing that works properly here. Boop. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. I think that's fine. Okay. Save. So, this is the basic footprint. Oh, it definitely looked a lot cooler. This is going to be the basic footprint. Next thing is going to be... so, these pillars sit basically in the middle of these seating sections. I don't know if you can see on, I don't know if this is a good one to show, maybe not. Oh, that's pretty good. So you can kind of see here, these pillars go right at the top of the seating section. Same with over here, but it's only really 4 big pillars right here. Right? And that kind of joins up with this like super flat section. You can see the pillars going up into here. So it's not just this part it supports, but it supports all the way up to the top. Right? You can see that over here too. Goes all the way up. And then these things are all supported by these other pillars, which also have seats on them. And the other side is supported by a whole like, it runs all the way up through these like boxes and stuff. No skid plate underneath, which leaves stuff vulnerable to damage. If you put the rear cover, you can't see out the rearview mirror, and it's truly steel, so no crumple zones and accidents. Is it very heavy? I mean, it feels like it would be like the weight ratio would be all off. Oh, you mean on a... I saw a thing where they were... Somebody was charging it, and they had a ground, they had a voltmeter, they had a multimeter with the ground into the ground, and they had another, you know, the black end or whatever, and they touched it to the frame, 0. They put the charger in, 120 volts, and it's like, dang, like it's not grounded, whatever. I'm like, oh man. There's a couple in our not in our neighborhood, but I've seen one park at a house over here every so often. Oof. I saw a video where they polished it, so it was mirror finish, and I'm like, that it's one thing if it's mirror finished and curved, right? If it's a nice curved aerodynamic car, but the way it's just flat like that, mirror finish, I would think would be 100% illegal. The sun reflected off and blinding everybody. All right, so ideally, these are going to be giant posts. So let's just... I don't know how big, though. Probably... I'm going to say 4x4 big. Let's just see what this looks like. Yeah, come on. Come on out here. I know there's other ways to, and I'm going to be doing this in other ways. There's going to be, these are probably going to be, as much as I hate to say it, these are probably going to be Technic that are maybe going to be then surrounded by plates or bricks. But I just kind of want to get a footprint and see what it looks like. Stacks up pretty quick. That looks good, about that size. Looks pretty good, yeah. That's what I was thinking, would be about that size. So what'll happen is I'll probably, and this may just be like this, or 2x2 bricks. I like it being hollow because I think it's a little more stable, but yeah, I just wanted to get a look of this, but what I'll probably end up doing is this will probably go down. This will not be supported here. What will probably happen is underneath this will be a, as much as I hate it, I'll probably have a Technic frame underneath this whole thing that I'll have to assemble mostly on site, but I'm guessing like if I built 2 U-shaped frames here, that'd be big enough to assemble or disassemble in kind of a room size area. That I can then attach these to so they don't shift and move, so the roof doesn't shift and move. And then what will have to happen is on some of these plates, these won't be completely, you know, these will probably go down further into here. So despite these being big chunks of things that I just moved there, that's fine. But there's going to be a frame to kind of hold them all together. There's going to have to be. And probably not like a huge amount. Like maybe I could get away with making like a tripod, like 3 or 4 legged Technic frame under here with just, you know, and it just sits up there. I'd ideally like them all to link together. So there's a frame around the bottom here. And then basically like a frame up top. So it's like a big cube of Technic. The problem is even Technic sags. So that's going to have to be just experimentation. I'll have to get all the Technic I own and see how big of a thing I can make. Because I don't know what the physics is going to do at this size. But yeah, so that's gonna be an experiment. But then about that size, like, and then Technic you can take, like if you had some lift arms, get your longest lift arms here. Just do a bunch of these. And then Technic brick. Let's just do, so 1x8. The other good thing is like I can line this up with ones in the middle. So I can do like that. Yeah, triangles. Well, and that's why these are all triangles in here, because that's how the structure is the most stable. You can see the triangles under the bleachers here too. It's all there. I don't know what these are for. I think this is just for fun looking stuff, but like I don't know if this is a structural thing. It's these peaking, like ever increasing triangles, and then it's got these cables running over it. So I don't know if that's like just for fun, or if it's like this holds this keeps this from sagging or bowing, but there's nothing underneath this. So I don't know. It may link back to these big pillars somehow. There is construction. There is this. I found this the other day. Which I think is great. I don't know how accurate it is, but it's like the layout of the stadium, which is great. I was like, can I get this in a wireframe format for my, and then just build it like this out of Lego? But this gives you an idea of like what the roof looks like and all this kind of other stuff. So it's pretty cool. I think the video has like a flyover too. I'm gonna mute it. Yeah, it's got this like, this is how they build it. I'm like, oh, you're kidding. But you see how it's kind of dug out in the middle here? I mean, a lot of this would be very useful in the construction of it. So, yeah. But seeing as how a lot of this isn't built with beams and girders, it's going to be built with, like, bricks and plates. But you could have an underlying Technic, thing underneath it, holding it all together. I think that's pretty cool. And then they put the field down. Does it have an overhead? Look at that overhead. Yeah, I think the new field size, is better. We'll see when I start putting seats in it. Anyway, that was really cool. I thought that was a lot of fun. So if we're to do Technic pen, so what's everybody's plans this weekend? What do you got going on this weekend? My children and I are going to go see the new Transformers movie. And we're going to enjoy it, I'm sure. Can't remember which one of these is like the common Technic pin. It doesn't really matter because I'm not really going to buy any of them. I think it's with short friction ridges, with long friction ridges. Well, I'm glad I was here for you, Johnny. You weren't listening to music or anything. You gotta listen to my stupid voice talking. Good deal. Good deal. That's what I like to hear. People getting home safely. So we do this. Oh, I don't want it to be that big. Technic brick. Oh, yeah. So I do want it to be that big because then I'm going to do something on top of it. So I'll move this over here. So this sits in here like that. So that's your about 4 wide because then we're going to repeat this. Excuse me. With a 6. Or a 4, I guess. And then we'll repeat this. That was helpful, thanks. I'm gonna click on all 4 of you. I feel like an old man. This computer program's gone downhill. Back in my day. This may not exactly be what I want to do, but this will give you an idea. And then we do half pins. And I think it's this one. Doesn't really matter. Maybe it's that one. You do half pins. So this will be like, it comes up to about here. And then from here up, you do your half pins. Why do sometimes these... There we go. This is so goofy. Then we got all these. I realize I'm asking it to do a lot because there's a lot of pieces right now, and it's like, hey, wait, slow down. I can only copy and paste so fast when you've got 6,000 parts. And I have to hold all of them in memory. All right, so, and then like partial ways up, you can link the, you can relink the lift arms so they can be linked to each other. They can link across. They can, you can make triangles if you want, but they can basically, you've got this base down here that'll keep them solid. And then you do, and I don't even care at this point, honestly. It's gonna be 6, right? 6 by 16. Do we have a 6 by 16 plate? Right, and this becomes your pillar. Not exactly like that. I'll probably line it up differently. But you do this, and then you just keep repeating the Technic lift arms all the way up, and it becomes a little more stable. Right? And I could probably fill this in with tile. These could also be tiles, something like that. But yeah, you just do that over and over again, and you build it up, and you've got an internal structure of Technic brick beams holding each other. I've not done anything quite this big. The capital itself was basically empty walls. It was just a big Fabergé egg. It was just this empty, hollow thing, and all that was holding it together were the walls. There was not a good way to do it. It looks great, but there's nothing inside it holding together. The only thing inside it holding together really is under the main dome. There's a lattice of just regular brick holding it up, so the dome can sit on top of it. Everything else is just like walls. That's it. At one point I had to like scramble and order a bunch of extra stuff to kind of make these like trusses to kind of hold the walls in place, because they were shifting and moving, and it was a bummer. So yeah. All right, so long convention weekend. It's Brick Erie up in the Ohio area, right? I got a old podcast friend who lives in Lakeview. I guess that's outside of Cleveland. Anyway, so yeah, I've got that. I've got nothing really. Austin FC game Saturday night. Was gonna go see Transformers tomorrow. That's about it. Streaming on Sunday. So, all right. So I'm gonna save this, even though I'm probably not gonna do this exactly, but that's the idea. What's another consideration for doing this? So the seats themselves. So we've got this row of seats, and you can kind of see this row of seats goes up at a certain angle. This row of seats goes up at a different angle. And what I'm going to go for is the hope that these seats, and these seats are all at the same angle. So all of these and all of these and all of these are all the same angle, because this will go from field to the first. I call this area the concourse. This one area that runs around it. This is the concourse. So we've got field level up to concourse. This level will be, I don't even know what that is, 12 degrees. This is going to be about 20 something degrees, 30 degrees. This is almost 45 degrees. Like it is pretty up there, right? This may also, that's probably about 35 degrees, honestly. I think that will look good with the added things in there, because it'll look like it's got rows, and I think it'll make it a little taller. I hope that works. I'm going to keep working on that. So, this Sunday, I know it's not time to shut down yet, but this Sunday, I don't want to do this again. But I don't have anything to build. I really don't. I mean, I've got a bunch of older sets over here, but none of them are very fun. I don't really want to build any of them. I want to keep them in their boxes, specifically. Maybe I'll bust out, I don't know. Or I could do Microfighter or more Horizon stuff. Haven't done Horizon stuff in a while. I want to keep with the studio. I want to keep with the studio stuff because I think for the next few months it's going to be light on the purchases. But by the end of the year, I'm probably going to have more sets to build. And if I get that Venator around Christmas, that's going to be like 2 months of building. I mean, it's going to be like the AT-AT, just a big old UCS set. Y'all saw the sandwich on Instagram. Oh, I've got to order. I got some information about ordering. I'm going to go with power functions if I can find it to get the lights and everything for the windmill and the lighthouse. So this is the kind of stuff I want to get into, is this stuff. This is the little building stuff over here. Right? It's not really anything I can find that I'll give you. Is that a render or is that... No, that looks real. Kind of a weird image. It's kind of blown out. But yeah, like, there's usually a mural right here. I think they've painted a mural right here. This area is like kind of the front area. But it's still kind of a walk up. So I don't know if I want to include this or not. I mean, this is part of the stadium, it's part of the grounds, but I feel like for display purposes, it may need to stop with this building, have this gate, have this section of sidewalk, and then have this building and that be it. Not like all this landscaping stuff out here. Which sucks, because then the side over here has got this great amphitheater on it. See if I can find an image with the amphitheater. That's really nice. I mean, it's a great place to go sit after the game. They sometimes will have musicians hanging out over there, and you can go hang out. It's not a real concert or anything, but sometimes they'll have that going on. Ooh, I wonder if you can see us from there. Probably not. Can't tell if this is a real game or not. So yeah, we're right in here. It's a nice stadium. I like going. But yeah, the little restaurants over here. There's a little bow station right over here. I go get bow. There's a couple places over here to get like tacos and barbecue and beers and stuff. You don't want to, because everything there's like $15 for a beer, $20 for a taco, that kind of stuff. That's why we go to Hop Squad ahead of time and eat and drink there. So yeah, this is like the entrance. This is a long string of buildings along here. And then this section right here is all shops, and then there's this little walkway in between that's strung with lights and little things that look like bats, because it's supposed to be bats. So yeah. Ideally, this is going to be a big chunk of, like, this will all be a big section, but I'm considering each of these to be its own section that gets built, so I have to figure that out. But I want it to all kind of be this shape, because this is what it all looks like. I think there's another section of seats right here, but that's about it. You can kind of see that from here. There's another section here, but it's kind of disconnected. Like, I probably could have added another row of things right here for that section. Because there's this section right here that's like accessible seating. There's accessible seating. That's accessible seating. And then these two, there's sections here, this corner, and then this corner that are kind of weirdly angled. Have to figure that out. But I'd like to do this like they do roofs. If you've built the, let's just go ahead and do another one of these sections. If you've done the, I can never remember the name of it. The blacksmith, medieval blacksmith. It has a great, and it's, most roof pieces. Am I not doing this right? There we go. Why is that not? The medieval blacksmith has a great roof that just kind of hangs. And I think there's a Christmas set that did it too, where it just kind of, it either hangs or it hooks in the top and just kind of sits there, right? You don't have to worry about it like fitting an angle or fitting a slope or fitting on like a hinge. It just, it's got these two hooks at the top and it just kind of goes plunk and it just hangs. And it's great because it's like, it's just a friction build. It's just a gravity build. It just kind of sits there and lets you do what you need to do with the rest of the building. So I'm going to try to do that. That's why I've got these kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of, you know, have these right here and then have like hooks on the other side of it with the bars where you can just kind of do this and it hangs. The trick is to make sure you've got enough room between whatever this stacks up as that and that, so it gets the right angle when it falls down. Also, you have to make sure that there's probably something underneath it, right, to keep it from, because I've got them here, to keep it from, like if it's sitting like this and there's nothing behind it, to keep it from pushing in there and just breaking these in half, right? Because, you know, bricks like this, it's fine for a little bit, but after a while it's going to get unstable. So you don't want stuff just pushing through there. So, and especially with plates added in there, it's going to make it even more loose. So part of the reason for adding plates here in between each section is I could make them 2x8 plates or something, have them stick out a little in the back, and then use that as like attachment points. You can have like long panels behind it to give it a little more stability. Not a chunk. You don't want everything because then it weighs it down. But this is the plan going forward. Like, I don't know of a better way to do this, really. To get all those seats in there like that. I'm sure someone's going to be like, well, why don't you just... And then say something about plates and tiles. You know, why can't you just make all the seats 1x1 tile or something like that? And that might be the smart way to do it, but I don't think it looks as good, and I want this to look really good. And as of now, I'm not paying for it. Like, this is just a digital exercise right now. So why does it matter? If somebody else wants to pay for it down the line, that is their problem. That's what I want to happen, but that's not my current problem. My problem is to make it look good. What is your matter here? What did I not... Missed something when I grabbed it all, didn't I? What is not working about this? So getting ready for Brick Erie. What else has gone on? What did I do up here to screw you guys up? I don't understand what's broken here. Oh, I see what's broken. Okay. So these are going to need plates too. For no other reason than I don't really know how to handle that. Well, tomorrow's Friday. Hopefully not a huge day of work for anybody. Hopefully you got a nice boss that maybe lets you go home early, or you just have the day off or something. Oh, what happened? I have a weird view of everything now. Nope, something's hurting my brain. That was strange. What was that? That was isomorphic view. Keypad 7. What did I do that for? That was weird. Or orthographic view, I guess. Okay. Well, it's getting to be that top of the hour. If you guys have any ideas for stuff you'd like to see on the channel, do feel free to let me know when I post on the community tab or on Instagram or anything. Just give me a shout and say something you'd like to see done. Yeah, that was like, everything was like zipping around. Anything you'd be interested in seeing studio-wise, like if you'd like to see something being worked on, a Star Wars ship or some sort of building or any kind of new techniques or anything like that. Totally willing to give new stuff a shot. Just let me know what you think. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep doing what I want to do. And that's no fun for anybody. But because I can't just sit here and watch West Wing for an hour, then we're going to have to come up with something more constructive. Alright, so these will go away. This will become a 5. Hooray for 5. Hooray for not getting on the right. My most annoying pet peeve about this software is the absolute disregard for attachment on the buildscape. It just snaps to whatever it wants and doesn't care. These can also go over here. Cool, cool, cool. Again with this nonsense. Why are you so problematic? Nope, I didn't want that at all. Okay, so there's nothing here bothering anybody. Nothing whatsoever bothering anybody. I've got to do this like 20 more times on this stupid thing, and it's... What is causing the problem? Why is it duplicating that? There's nothing... All right, something is in the way, and I can't see what the thing is in the way here. So when it's done, it says whatever the conflict is up top here, but there's nothing there. What is that? Why is that doing that? It's like it's creating extra bricks. Okay, you know what? Why don't you just settle down? Oh, it's 10 o'clock, don't care. But something is being effing weird in here. It's just creating extra bricks. Like for no reason. Okay, it says it's conflicting, but I have removed nothing extraordinary, and I could put this all back and it would all line up. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone because otherwise I'm gonna throw a keyboard at it. Yeah, so long term it's gonna all look like this roughly. The seats will be one of these colors for the main seats, one of these maybe off colors for like the webbed seats because they look a little different to give it a different feel. So, but that's long term, it'll be like that. I've got plenty of pieces to start working on it that way. So we'll just have to keep fudging with it. Ooh, almost did a slip there. But thanks for everybody for hanging out. I appreciate your time. I'll be back on Sunday. I may have bought a set by them to work on. Otherwise, we'll do something else. So have a great weekend. I hope to see you soon. And take care and play well.